Alright, right now I want to talk about a forgotten survival tool, and that is the phone book. Alright, this is a Verizon phone book. It's from last year, 2011, 2012 for California. It's a county phone book. Now, what I'm going to show you inside these phone books, not all phone books have this. Okay, this is a county phone book. So if you have one for your county you live in your state, you might have this in here, but I know that California has a section that I'm going to show you. Okay, growing up, before we had smartphones, the internet, and we could just talk to our phones and ask it, how do I go to the bathroom, and it will tell you. We had to go to phone books. So what they did for everybody, because California has earthquakes, there's a section in here on emergency preparedness. Okay, and this is towards the front in the white pages. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in down here on some sections that I've highlighted that could be important. Emergency preparedness. And it goes on giving you what they think, and they get this information from the EPA and CDC. So the information here should mirror each other to a point. You want to be more in depth, go visit the CDC website or the EPA website. But let's get through this real quick. Supplies to have on hand. It goes through portable radio, flashlights, first aid kit, fire extinguishers, etc. And then at the top here, one of the important ones is water. At least 3 gallons per person. And I guess they're assuming that emergencies last 72 hours, somewhere in there. So a gallon per day per person. They're saying 3 gallons for one person, obviously one person for 3 days. Food, and it goes on, canned food, non-electric can opener, etc. Kind of common sense type things. Moving on. Chlorine bleach or purification tablets for use in disinfecting water. Moving on, you see other things on here. Tells you how to turn electricity off. Check for injuries. Alright, one of the important sections over here that I highlighted. Check food and water supplies. Alright. Now, you would think this would be common sense, but what's that say? Do not eat or drink anything from open containers near shattered glass. Alright. And then it goes on, blah 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 blah, and it says if the water is off, emergency water supplies may be all around you, as in water heater, toilet tanks, melted ice cubes. Alright, so these are all good recommendations, and again, we probably all have this in our house, or we have access to them. Now, the most important one we have here is disinfecting water. What's this say? If polluted, strain through a clean cloth, paper towel, or paper coffee filter. Where have we seen that one before? I wonder. To remove any sediment or floating material. And it goes on and tells you about disinfecting 5.25 sodium hypochlorite. And that's per the CDC as well. And it goes on and it says right here, if liquid bleach you are using is older than 1 year, you should double the amount listed. And it tells you right here, let it set for 30 minutes, and it gives you a table. Again, where have we seen this one before? 1 quart. For clear waters, 2 drops. For cloudy water, 4 drops. And it goes on, 1 gallon, 5 gallons. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll post a link to my other videos showing you examples of how to do the disinfecting with the water and the bleach, and the other one about the coffee filter. But again, this is a good piece of technology to have. It's old school, but this is again one of these things where old school stuff could save your life or help you out down the road. Right? So I'm sure again we all have access to one of these. We all know somebody who has one of these. Check with your grandparents or an older aunt and uncle. I'm sure they have some of these and they'll swear by them. So the phone book is good to go in my opinion. It has useful information. It has beneficial information, and it can all be linked with the EPA or CDC. So this is good to go. It's a forgotten piece of technology and a good survival tool.